You're listening to the AfterBuzz TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, King Johnson.
From the AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com, and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, this is AfterBuzz TV's WWE Main Event After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AfterBuzz TV's WWE Main Event After Show.
Hello, everybody, and welcome again. WWE Main Event. Bing is for doing, and we're doing another after show for WWE Main Event. I am Tom, the Tom Connolly, here with you tonight, and I have some new faces again this week. Well, one new face, another old face that you guys all recognize. I have me here tonight. He's one half of the Curtain Jerks podcast. We had his other half last week, Steve Sears, and tonight we have Scott Narver.
Yeah, hello. It is me. You might refer to my face as new, but I assure you, it's a very old face.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good.
New to AfterBuzz.
Yeah, it's new to AfterBuzz. And also with us,
I'm Phil Svitek. You guys may have seen me on SmackDown, things like that, but I'm most credited to bring Kathy Kelly into the world of wrestling for those of you who watch the Raw After Show.
Now
you
we know.
appreciate my work.
Now we know. The mystery has been solved.
There you go.
All right, we can leave. See ya. So tonight, WWE's main event comes from Ottawa, Canada. Still up in Canada this week. Raw was in Toronto. Now they're in Ottawa.
It's hard to get past customs.
Must be, yeah. All that time. I heard they lost some luggage, so.
Yeah, King was very upset about that.
Hey, he looked good in that shirt this week on Raw. I liked it. Better than his outrageous shirts that he wears every week. But yeah, so coming from Ottawa, Canada, like commentators tonight were The Miz and Josh Matthews. The Miz back after being gone for a while. Alex Riley was sitting in his seat. So I guess they decided to switch it up and bring The Miz back. What do you guys think of The Miz being back on main event?
Well, good for him. I mean, after that vicious feud he's going through with Fandango of being interrupted and dancing with one another, if he can just focus on his job of talking, I think this is a better spot for him.
I think it will be. What do you think, Phil?
I like The Miz. You know, I am a personal fan of The Miz, and so it's great to just kind of hear him. He has a great kind of take on most things. So I do like listening to him.
Yeah, I agree with you. Like I was telling you guys earlier, I did meet him a couple years ago, and he was a really nice guy. Really like easy to talk to, and just really it was really fun to talk to him about wrestling. Mm-hmm. So it was good. You know, after his real world days.
I think if I were to see the three of them, though, Alex Riley, Josh Matthews, and The Miz all standing together, I wouldn't be able to tell them apart. Somebody needs to get a different haircut amongst them.
Maybe. Miz is kind of growing his out a little bit.
Is it growing out a little
bit?
bit?
I think he's got more spikes. But
I think that they're to me they're kind of all around the same age, or at least voice wise. Mm-hmm. So there isn't that distinction. Whereas like with Raw, you kind of know everyone's personality. And of course, I mean that's because there are different personalities. But and yes, everyone has a different take, but still the tone of the voice is kind of the same. So it's tough to pick up who's talking what.
Yeah, it is hard when especially when things are fast paced in a match. You're like, who said that?
Yeah,
unless they kind of say the other person's name.
This is kind of
associated with it.
This is kind of later on in obviously the show, but like when Tons of Funk commentated, I couldn't keep track of who was saying what.
Yeah, I could. Yeah, it was just, of Tons of Funk. Yeah, unless they said who they were, I had to really listen and really figure out who was who. But let's get into the matches for tonight. The first match of the night was Kofi Kingston versus Antonio Cesaro. Zeb Coulter didn't cut a promo, just came out for this match. Kofi in his orange trunks, bright orange trunks.
I like these trunks.
He seems to be wearing them a lot now.
He's going the long tights now.
Yeah, I definitely like the long tights. The orange.
He's grown up. He's a dad now, These are important things to teach your children,
That is
Cover your legs.
Cover your legs. At least he didn't have anything fall off like Justin Gabriel did last week with his boot falling off halfway through the match. But I thought this was a really good match. Good match to start off main event. We were kind of talking earlier, and And Scott, you were saying that they kind of put the the more main event match first on this show compared to, Raw and SmackDown, where the main event match is at the end.
Yeah, this show tends to do that for some odd reason. That when they started in the very beginning, I think the first episode was CM Punk, the champion, the WWE champion, versus Sheamus, the World Heavyweight champion, and they seem to emphasize that the bigger, better match always tends to kick off the show.
Yeah, I mean, I think it works for this show because it draws you in right away.
Yes.
So you're not, oh well, I'll just turn it on for the last half hour. It pulls you in right away, and it's most of the time the first match is always, people you want to see each week too.
True.
So
Yeah, this
and
was
it's
a
not
great blend of styles right away.
and it's not like a squash match of like, oh, it's so and so,
Yeah.
John Cena versus, I'm trying to
Anybody?
think of 3MB or something like that.
Anybody?
Yeah, like you're like, oh well, I know who's gonna win this match.
Mm-hmm.
Which was, I think, kind of the case with this match tonight. I wasn't sure who was gonna win this coming into it. Both of them coming out.
I was sure, and that's why I don't bet on wrestling, because I was dead wrong.
You thought Cesaro was gonna win?
I thought he was going to win, hands down.
I mean, I thought he was going to too.
He wraps a flag around his neck, and Kofi wears long tights now. Like, things are changing,
With the Real Americans, it angers me how many times they do lose. I don't think
That's what I don't understand.
Because you're a real American? It upsets you?
No, it upset because at one point they have to win
Yeah.
at least once. Zeb Coulter, I think you guys were saying as we were watching, he's got to get mad at these guys sometime, and does he eventually drop them? And like, okay, you're not American enough. Americans win.
I got to tell you, I was at Raw on Monday in Toronto, and being an American, being there in Toronto, when the Real American hits on the Titantron and the music hits, and 25,000 Canadians boo, it's a frightening feeling. Because they're
really
booing real Americans coming out, and you want to blend in real fast, like, oh no, I'm Canadian, right with you guys.
Real
You
Canadian.
start booing with them. You're like, boo, boo them Americans.
boo, yeah, hockey.
Yeah. That is kind of, I've never thought of it the other way of being
terrifying.
But I mean, this match was pretty action packed. Cesaro went after Kofi right away with the drop kick and just started, pummeling him in the corner, just really going after him. Kofi had a cool springboard clothesline off the top rope.
Yeah, very
from the
cool.
outside. That was really good. And then Kofi had this. It was a hurricanrana that he did out of the corner, where Cesaro was running in, and he ended up, most of the time they just jump over them and kind of land on their feet. But he, twisted himself in the air and was able to, lock his leg around his head and, flip him over for the hurricanrana.
Yeah, really incredible. Never seen that before. Again,
Yeah.
I credit that to the long tights, changing up
Must be.
the offense, more aerodynamic.
That's what he always needed to do.
Yeah, I know.
It's going to bring him to a title, these long tights.
Maybe a future Intercontinental Champion. He does have two wins now over Curtis Axel.
Yeah, stay in that middle ground, middle solid ground.
And it also got a "This is awesome" chant on main event.
It did.
I mean, that's pretty rare for a main event show or main event match to get a "This is awesome"
deserved.
chant.
It was deserved.
Yeah.
This match, it constantly kept raising the bar and kept surprising, I think, all of us when watching it, that we were just constantly surprised, constantly delighted by the next thing that happened, and they just kept impressing everyone.
Yeah, and then Kofi went for the boom drop, and then went for the pin. Zeb was definitely just covering his eyes the whole time, as the camera kept showing him. He went for the Trouble in Paradise. He missed. Went for a roll up, couldn't get that. He ran off the ropes and went to go for, it looked like another kind of like hurricanrana, but Cesaro just caught him and was able to hold him up in the air, which was just, that guy he's so impressive.
He's got crazy grandpa strength.
Every week it's something different he does that I just sit there and like my jaw just drops. I'm like, where does he get this strength to be able to just grab someone and just hold them as their momentum is taking them down each time, and he just is able to hold that and just stay strong.
I don't know. For me, I also credit Kofi because I think to a degree he was helping.
It does, yeah.
Hold
it is
himself
both of
up
them
because he
working
could
together.
have just let go and been like, okay, enough.
Yeah, they do work together in that sense.
It's a great blend of styles between these two guys. That Cesaro works so well with so many different types of guys, and Kofi is underappreciated, I think, for that too. That you don't notice him as much because of what Cesaro's doing and holding and throwing and doing all those things, while Kofi's the guy taking those throws and being thrown around and jumping.
It's interesting after they kind of both fell down. Cesaro's just equally as dizzy as you know what I mean. It goes both ways, and so it's almost like a chicken match of okay, who's going to become more dizzier? If you're Kofi, like I'll take this because you're gonna, you're the one kind of spinning more times. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, that came up after this. What I was talking about, he held him up, and then he threw him onto his shoulder.
Oh yeah.
And then threw him straight up in the air, and then hit him with the uppercut. But then it was right after that.
That's what I can do with potato chips, but that's where my extent lies of skill.
But then he did pick him up for that spin he did on Raw, and they clocked it at 36 seconds. He spun around 25 times.
That's crazy. If you haven't seen this, go watch this.
Yeah, YouTube it right now.
Yeah, it's
after
incredible.
we're done.
Yeah. Well, first, like, subscribe, comment below, do all that good stuff. But you have to see it. If you saw it from Raw, that you got an idea of what it was. But he did it again. The worry that I have is it's so impressive. He's so good at doing it that he'll have to keep doing it. That'll be expected of him. Yeah.
Well, I heard them. I think it was on the AfterBuzz Raw podcast. They were talking about people have seen him do it for longer than that, like over a minute of him doing
with
that.
Kofi or somebody else.
With somebody else, I think back like in the either indie days or I'm not sure where exactly it was, but longer than that he would do it for.
And when he was done, his feet were planted solid, didn't sway, didn't move. I mean, when I used to ride on McDonald's in the little spinning hamburger when I was a kid, within 8 seconds, it's like, oh, I'm sick. I'm sick. Can't handle this.
Yeah. So then. Just very impressive. He did that. He went for the pin. As he was doing it, Zeb every time he went for a pin, Zeb would climb in the ring like the match was over, and then Zeb have to climb back down, getting more and more upset. Kofi went for a quick roll up. They went into the bridge, and then Kofi was able to just hit him with Trouble in Paradise out of nowhere, and covered him for the pin, which. Cesaro went down kind of slow, too, when he hit him with the Trouble in Paradise, so I thought maybe he was going to at least kick out, and maybe Kofi would go for something new to pin him. But, he was able to get the pin. And
he got him.
Kofi got the win, and Zeb looked really pissed outside of the ring.
He was really upset.
I think Zeb needs to get a little more involved in, like where Heyman just does despicable things. I'd like to see a little bit of that from Zeb.
I think maybe that's where they're going. Maybe they're going more like he's going to have to really help them out more, him and Swagger, to win more matches. Because they really are in a losing streak. I don't know how long it's been. It's been weeks
the
now.
message could be like real Americans cheat. Yeah. It's all about the victory.
Exactly. And after the match, Miz was talking about how, Kofi could be a future IC champ again. Like I said, he has the win over Axel. 2 wins over Axel.
It's true.
He's probably guaranteed a title shot sometime in the near future.
It'd be awesome if it were at Night of Champions, but it's not. No. Because that's the Night of Champions where they won't have that match.
Where they won't put the belt on the line.
It is an interesting point to bring up, but it is. I feel it's a little bit farther down the line. You know what I mean?
For him to have a title shot?
Well, because Curtis Axel, he's so tied in with this, how do you just let him go?
Yeah.
Unless Brock comes back, I guess. But
yeah, unless they just have him, drop it to him somewhere along the way. But, okay, so what's your guys' star rating of this match?
Oh, I'd give it 8.5 boom, boom, booms.
Oh, we only go up to 5.
Oh.
That's how good it was.
On the boom, boom, boom scale, I'd give it 8.5.
Okay.
That's the Canadian standard, by the way, the boom, boom scale.
Oh, okay. How about you, Phil?
Out of 5, I'll give it a 4.
Okay. Good.
It was fun to see.
It was good. Yeah, I gave it a 3.5 because I thought it was entertaining. It had some good spots in the match. Good high flying spots. Cesaro with his strength. I don't think you really could go wrong.
Did the spinning cause the 0.5?
It did. Yes.
Okay.
If he only went 32 seconds, it wouldn't have got it. But 36 seconds, okay,
that's fair.
That is the extra 0.5. But also, I want you guys, people at home, everyone, you can go to iTunes and they could check out Zero Buddies, made by Maria Menounos and Kevin Undergaro. They spent a lot of time and hard work getting all this together. The movie, Maria's in the movie. Christopher Lloyd, Artie Lang is in the movie. Everyone, go to iTunes, check it out. You can get it on there. And you can also go to iTunes, and while the movie is downloading on your iTunes, you can go and check out our page and give us a 5-star rating, because everyone wants 5 stars. So if everyone could do that, that'd be great. But let's get back into it. They also did a recap of for Raw with the Punk and Heyman situation. What do you guys think of the Punk and Heyman situation so far?
I just love their promos. I mean, the promos really get me into everything. I'm like, oh, I gotta go see that, and that's what I love about WWE. So
yeah, Scott, what do you think?
It's wildly intense. Like, as laughable as it could be if someone were to explain it to you, the execution and what they do and how invested those guys are and how good as storytellers Heyman and Punk is, and even Axel being in there and being elevated in that way, they're really knocking it out of the park. Like, it's so good. I don't want it to end. I don't want Punk to get his hands on Heyman because I don't want it to wrap up. It's so enjoyable.
Yeah, I think it's definitely the best. I say the best storyline going right now. I think everyone watching is, obviously everyone's invested in Daniel Bryan's storyline, but I think this is
but
just,
for different reasons.
Yeah, but this is just the performance that Heyman gave a couple weeks ago with the cane, yelling at Punk. Like, I mean, he's just so mad, and now this week on Raw we saw that now he's super stressed about the match, and he's like unshaven, and now he's really stressing because now it's really gonna happen on Sunday, and he can't get out of it.
And the subtleties are great too because seeing Curtis Axel lose to so many different guys, whether it's on SmackDown or whatever, it's a nice kind of subtle touch to it of like, wow, this guy sucks. He can't beat some of these regular guys.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and how is Heyman gonna actually beat Punk?
Yeah.
With having Axel with him.
Yeah.
Each week. And then also, so our next match of the night, which I was kind of confused at first. I thought it was going to be Tons of Funk versus Primetime Players, but Tons of Funk came out in their purple track suits, and they were actually on commentary tonight with Miz and Matthew. So
yeah,
it was interesting.
I was very surprised, not only by the tracksuits and that Brodus Clay has his lettering logo in the corner, and Sweet Tea doesn't yet, just the Nike swoosh.
They didn't have time to put it on
No
yet.
budget there yet for that. But yeah, they did commentary, and I guess we'll get to it, but that commentary was forever surprising.
It was good. I liked it. But so it was the Primetime Players with their millions of dollars. The fans are really into them now. I'm really, I think they're a great tag team, and I'll let you know my prediction later of what I think is going to happen this Sunday at Night of Champions. But they're sitting pretty high, and I think in this tag team turmoil match that's happening. And their opponents tonight were the 3-man band, but there was only 2 of them tonight, so they were a 2-man band. Drew McIntyre was not out the ring with them tonight. So
I assume he was napping in the back.
I guess. I said he was getting the equipment set up for their gig.
That's plausible as well.
So it was just Heath Slater and Jinder Mahal in the match. I thought this match, it was good. I was surprised how 3MB really took control of Darren Young in this match. And they really showed a lot, like a different side of them that I thought that we haven't seen lately, because most of the time
I think
they don't really get offense.
They took a page out of almost like the Shield's book, where they had some nice isolations, you know what I mean? And okay, just keep the guy in the ring. And there was I think it was Jinder who tossed Titus down so that way you couldn't even possibly get to him.
Yeah,
I like just that strategy I thought was nice, and I was like, oh, could they win?
Yeah, it was almost basic, a basic tag team match that you would see, probably a couple years ago of them. As Jim Ross would always say, they'd always cut the ring in half, keep that guy on your side of the ring and don't let him get to his partner.
Yeah, it's clear that they're not just writing songs, they're swapping tapes. They're doing their homework.
So, and as Tons of Funk was on commentary, they said that they were playing with house money on Sunday in this tag team turmoil match because they've had their highs and lows and ups and downs, and they never really got a shot at the at a tag team at the belts. So I think they kind of are playing with house money because they could be the surprise winners of this. You'd never know where they're. I mean,
That's
I kind of know where they're
if
heading.
If they win, they are the surprise winners.
You don't think 3MB would be more surprised than?
No way.
No?
3MB is credible, man.
I don't know. I think if 3MB won this, it'd be shocking. But Tons of Funk is definitely up there with them.
Yes. All right. That's fair.
And also in our commentary, they were doing some Yo Mama jokes, which I thought were good. And Brodus said that Tensai is the Tons and Brodus is the Funk in their tag team.
You know, that sounds like dissension. They could split at any moment with those types of jokes amongst each other. Because they're big dudes, and that just might split them, you know?
I don't think so. I mean, I think they're together for at least a while. At least a couple more months, I think we have of Tons of Funk being together. Especially with, Naomi and Cameron with the Funkadactyl, so...
There could be a barbershop window moment at any time. Anytime.
I say 3MB going through the window first. But I mean, the match was good. I thought it was they were really targeting Darren Young, keeping him in the corner. He was able to get the hot tag to Titus. Titus came in and did that, picked up Jinder and did that slam. It wasn't even you can't even call it a fall away slam because he doesn't even fall. He just makes the other guy fall, I guess.
Yeah,
just throw him over his head.
The patented Scott Hall, the fall away slam, or what JBL would do. But yeah, he doesn't fall down with you. He just tosses you like old laundry.
Yeah, I mean, really strong to do that.
It's awesome.
Jinder is definitely not a. Jinder's what, like, gotta be 250, 260?
Yeah, he's a gigantic guy.
But so he got the hot tag to Titus. Titus came in. Seth Rollins. Slater actually took Darren Young out of the ring and threw him into the commentary table, which I wasn't expecting anything like that to happen in this match.
Yeah.
Titus came over, clotheslined Slater, and was able to do the power bomb drop onto Jinder. And I don't understand why he gets out. He's pinning him already when he does that move.
Yeah, he does that sort of power bomb where the legs are right in front of him, and he could just roll him up and get him right there. But he sweeps the legs to the side and then goes for a pin.
Yeah,
that's precious seconds right there.
I mean, I guess it's more of and it's like a sit-down power bomb, I would guess.
Yeah,
nearly his move. But
he doesn't transition into it where you'd think it'd be logical of if you were immediately looking for the win, that's how you get it.
Yeah, and he's done it a couple times where he has pinned them like that. In the last couple times, he's just,
just a cocky
got
guy.
off of them and went for the pin.
You also the moment of when Darren gave Titus the whistle. And he was mudhole stomping him in the corner, but blowing the whistle with each stomp. I thought that was a lot of fun.
Normally Titus, puts uses the whistle himself, but tonight they changed it and Darren Young was doing it.
Yeah, it was great.
I think it worked out well. Yeah, it was a cool little spot they did. So after the match is over, Tons of Funk get up and stare down primetime players, and 3MB just looks kind of defeated outside of the ring. Like, hey, we're in this Tag Team Turmoil match, but I don't know where we're going to end up in it.
But hey, man, we're just still writing songs, right? It's all good.
Exactly. Maybe with Drew McIntyre out there, they'll have a better chance of winning. What did you think of the match, Phil?
Overall, I liked it. I mean, the most fun for me was if you guys saw the sign 3MB for Grammy.
Yeah, that's good.
I enjoyed that one. That's good.
But there was a moment where I thought 3MB could actually win, and then I got to a point where like, not happening.
I mean, like I said, I think they got a lot of offense in this week, which is a change of pace for them, because most of the time they are just like getting beat up most of the match.
And I think what was nice to see. I think I don't know if it was just because Drew wasn't there, but they seemed more serious. You know what I mean? Rather than like they're goofy, like, hey, let's play Rock Band together right now.
Yeah.
Which was nice. It was a change of pace.
And there was another spot I had where Jinder was outside of the ring, and Jinder was a legal man, and he was kind of baiting Darren Young to come after him out of the ring, and Slater tried to come from behind, but Darren Young actually caught him and wasn't able to attack him. But then Jinder came right in and, hit this knee to the face, it looked really good, and it really took Darren Young down, and, they were trying to build up their momentum back, and it kind of just squashed it for a little bit. Before Darren Young could get the hot tag.
That's one of the things I really enjoy about Heath Slater in particular is that he's not afraid to look the fool. So in that moment when he's going to go attack Titus O'Neil, and then is caught, and then immediately cowers away and ducks back behind. Like, so many guys are so ready to be the uber tough guy, and they won't take those moments. But Heath does, and that's fun. Like, it's fun to see him get caught and then cower away, because then you want to see him get beat up.
Yeah. It's like Paul Heyman, just keeps running away.
Exactly.
What would you guys give a
I think
rating
his
of that?
knee's okay.
I don't know.
I think it's
We'll have to
okay,
find out
guys.
Sunday. Phil, what would you give the rating of this match?
I'd give it a solid 3.
3?
I think.
Okay.
I'd give it $4 million.
$4 million. All right, that sounds good. I gave it a 3 too. I thought it was good. It hyped up the match for Sunday, got you interested in seeing which tag team is going to come out on top on this, and see who's actually going to go against the Shield on Sunday and who has a good shot of winning.
Yeah.
And then next they did as another recap from Raw of the Orton-Bryan situation. Bryan seemed to have got the upper hand finally for at least a little bit on Raw. After weeks and weeks of, ending Raw on his back, he grabbed that belt and he would, had that crowd in the palm of his hand. You were there.
I was there.
You were definitely probably chanting yes.
I did chant yes.
Okay. Good.
I was chanting it very loud. I don't know if you go back, you might be able to hear me.
I'll try. Maybe we can isolate your.
You might be able to. It was a blast being there live, because you do get those moments where Daniel Bryan is that perfect guy in this time where you are chanting along with every move that he does, with everything, with every action he has, and whoever he's going up against, you're yelling the opposite. You're yelling no. You don't want them to have those moments. So, in this time right now, being wrapped up and going live with Daniel Bryan, he's the perfect guy to see a live show. It's so much fun.
Yeah. I was at SummerSlam and it was the same way. Like, you just couldn't, like, my voice and my hands hurt from yelling, and just my chest hurt from just doing yes for 3 hours straight.
And you were fandangoing a little bit earlier as well.
I was doing that too every time he came out. But yeah, I thought it was a good match. Definitely got people interested, in tuning into the kickoff show to see who's going to win the Tag Team Turmoil. And they also did a promo for SmackDown, which Edge is going to be on SmackDown again this week and doing another cutting edge.
He's milking it now.
He
I mean,
is.
come on.
I'm surprised Triple H let him back in the building. But
Yeah, with his saggy sack of dimes neck.
so this week his guests will be Orton and Daniel Bryan. So that'll be interesting to see what develops on SmackDown before the pay-per-view. Hopefully Daniel Bryan will come out on top on SmackDown too, but I guess we'll
see.
Have to wait and see.
It's a good go-home preview.
Yeah. And the final match of the night is R-Truth coming out with his What's Up. I thought you guys were going to say What's Up back, but...
What's up?
What's up? R-Truth coming out to face Big E Langston, which we haven't seen him since SummerSlam, I think. I don't think we've seen him on Raw, SmackDown, or anywhere since he was with AJ and lost at SummerSlam.
Okay. I know when I saw Raw, he was on Superstars before.
Oh, okay. But
So-
but I don't think he's been on like the bigger shows.
Yeah, I can't recall now that you mention it.
And I thought it was a decent match. It definitely showed Big E's strength. It wasn't too much catering towards R-Truth. He got some offense in there.
He did, yeah.
He took a really nasty dive to the outside, which looked really scary.
Yeah.
He just kind of springboarded himself over the ropes and just looked like he didn't spit, like
it
he
looks
didn't
like
turn
he
enough.
overshot him.
Yeah, and Big E just wasn't in the right spot to kind of catch him or catch his landing.
Why would he? He's taking a move from him. That guy's trying to hurt him.
I guess so, but maybe not. But it did look really nasty. Like, he definitely looked like it was scary for a second, because he looked really scared when he fell on the ground.
Yeah.
And then Miz was commentating. He was like, "I'm surprised he was the first person up after taking that fall, but I think your instincts probably just take over, and once you kind of feel that you're okay, they just
Yeah,
pop
think
up to keep going."
Yeah, at that point it was like, okay, reset the match, do what I was kind of
Yeah,
have to do.
which I'm glad he's okay, because that would just suck.
The one thing that played odd throughout the matches, you see that he clearly lands on his head and that he's taken damage to his head, but then Big E Langston from that point on attacks the body.
Yeah,
Which it's like, well, we saw it. We all know it happened. I'm sure the body doesn't feel great either, but go for the head.
yeah.
The head is weak.
Maybe he was just looking out for him the whole time.
Well, that's
But-
awfully nice of him, the man who's going to pummel him into trying to get a victory.
But the one thing that I thought was funny when R-Truth did fall, not that it was funny that he fell, you could hear a lone man in the crowd go, R-Truth, are you okay? To which it was just dead silence, and nobody said anything. The announcers were just silent, right at that perfect spot.
Yeah, and it was probably not Paul Heyman's doctor.
No, definitely not.
Probably an inebriated Canadian would be my guess.
Yeah. But I thought it was definitely a funny moment to hear, because most of the time you never really hear the crowd, like just one person in the crowd yelling.
Yeah,
things.
just one guy yelling something.
Yeah. During the match, R-Truth went into the top ropes, tried to do like a try to think of the name of it. He just tried to splash onto Big E.
Yeah.
Big E caught him very easily.
The crossbody.
Yeah, the crossbody, and he slammed him down pretty hard. He just kept going after him. R-Truth kept coming back though, which was good. I mean,
It's that fighting spirit.
he kept coming back again, and but after R-Truth went for the scissors kick, he missed it. Big E did that. It's almost a clothesline, but he kind of just hits him with his chest at the same time.
It's
Call
an
it chest
evil
line?
hug.
Yeah.
It's, this wrapping around and just clubbing that just looks like it'd be terrifying to take.
It does. every time I see Dolph Ziggler take it, I'm like, that just doesn't look good. But he was able to, do that, chest clothesline almost, and then picked him up, did the big ending. Big E got the win. It was a really fast match. It wasn't that long, and there was a commercial break in between too, which just didn't. I don't know. We didn't really see much of the action, but I think we saw enough to, Big E is a force to be reckoned with, and when he finally gets that push, I think he's going to be like unstoppable.
He's a massive guy, and he does show off a lot of his skill set within there, like how fast he was and how agile he was, which is just frightening to know that they're breeding him that way now.
Yeah,
for wrestlers.
What do you think of the match, Phil?
I want to see him with the right opponent. I don't think we've seen it. I respect Dolph a lot, and I do like Dolph a lot, but Dolph's moment, the types of matches that I liked to see him in was the ladder match against John Cena, right? That was a lot of fun with Dolph.
Yeah.
Against Big E, it wasn't exciting. With R-Truth, not the right opponent, So I want to see maybe a Ryback might be an okay fit. I don't know, but I just haven't seen the guy.
Yeah. I mean, I think I definitely agree with you on that. I think if he would go up
Who's
against
the guy?
Could be Ryback, but I don't know.
maybe a Kane,
perhaps.
Something like that.
Yoshitatsu?
maybe
Roberto-
a Wyatt,
Ricardo Rodriguez?
maybe Bray Wyatt or one of the Wyatt family.
Yeah, that could be.
I think that would be an interesting match to see. But yeah, I mean, I agree with you. Yeah, he's just so big and dominating that when he goes against a Ziggler, it's kind of like, okay, is Ziggler really gonna win this match? I don't know, because this guy is way bigger than him. But
Yeah, he's two Dolph Zigglers duct taped together.
yeah, definitely. I would definitely want him to have my back. So what are your guys' ratings in this match?
I would go 6 medium-sized E's for this match.
Gotcha.
I'll go with a 3, but that might be a little bit. Again, it's just not. I respect both, but it wasn't the best match.
Yeah, I went with a 3-2. One spot that Big E did do, he ran against the ropes and did a big splash, and I mean he jumped pretty high. He jumped, I'd say maybe 2-3 feet in the air,
And he basically does a frog splash.
Yeah.
Like he inverts his body and then stretches it right back out, like upon the point of impact.
Yeah, and for a big guy like that, I mean, to be able to, he is really fast. He's fast like Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar's still pretty fast, but when Brock Lesnar first came in, he was just so quick in the ring. And I think Big E is kind of like in the line of like that, just being able to just move around that ring as fast as he can and just destroy people. If they built him into that Brock Lesnar monster, like this next generation, Big E could just dominate people week in and week out, and it would just be so believable of him just really destroying people each week.
I think Big E is what they wanted Bobby Lashley to be.
Yeah,
Like he's
I agree with you
really
on that.
that guy.
yeah,
Bobby, when Bobby spoke, you went, "Oh no, no, you sound like you're on helium. Like what's wrong?" But Big E also has those dead fish eyes. Like
Yeah.
when he looks, it's just he's excited. He does all the the clapping with the powder and everything, and then just it goes cold in his face.
Yeah, I like I said, I think you're exactly right. If that's what they want out of Big E, and I mean, he's definitely going to be a world champion or WWE champion one day.
Yeah.
Without a doubt in my mind. He stays healthy, keeps going on this path. Like, I mean, he was already NXT champion, so they already have enough confidence in him to give him a belt of that prestige. So
Vince and Triple H see that guy and they just drool.
yeah, they
Just
definitely
love it.
I love how they resolved the AJ storyline. I know we were kind of making fun of that.
I was going to talk about that next. Actually, yeah, is he with AJ? Is he not with AJ?
Well, as a commentator,
He's not, because
Yeah,
kind of said like, yeah, they just don't hang out anymore.
I guess. Well, I mean, I guess we'll see.
it's bad for business.
I guess so.
Bad for Big E Langston's business.
I mean, I think it was bad for his. I mean, if they just don't put him back with her and just have him go by himself, I think it would be good. I think it would be good for him.
But
in
he's
the future.
clearly smitten. How can you just
Yeah.
let that go?
I guess
She's
he's not-
adorable.
because she said he was his best. She was his best friend.
You
So-
work through that. You work the friend game. You work your way
I
through
don't think
that.
he's getting out of the friend zone anytime
You know how he,
soon.
you know how
Worth
he can do
trying.
it?
How?
He goes for a total diva, and that pisses AJ
Oh,
off. And then
yeah.
AJ wants him
Uh
because you can't have him.
huh. Ooh,
That's good thinking.
yeah, that is good.
I like that.
You gotta write that storyline in the Total Divas. But also, let's do our predictions for this Sunday pay-per-view Night of Champions.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
So by the way, I know Christian started like the tradition where everyone does the predictions and there's a belt involved. So I really want to take it down from Christian.
Okay,
Who's
you
currently-
want him to, you don't want him to have the belt?
Yeah, I don't care.
Okay.
I don't care if you guys win over me, as long as Christian. I'll be like Triple H. That man cannot be the champion. He is not the face of AfterBuzz TV's wrestling.
The boss has spoken, Christian.
There you go.
You're
I will
not
do
gonna have that
everything in
belt
my
much
power.
longer.
Christian, nobody wants you to have the belt. Let's be honest. Comment below. Comment below who you want to see have the belt.
Oh, this is gonna be nasty this weekend because whoever wins, maybe it'll be Raw. Did Raw do predictions?
They did. I'll
they did? Okay.
I'll do an official kind of an email chain of like,
Okay.
okay, here's everyone's official predictions, even though you may have
Gotcha.
said something differently on air.
Okay, cool. So let's start off. We'll start off with the kickoff show with the Tag Team Turmoil match. So it is Tons of Funk, the Usos, Primetime Players, 3MB, and the Real Americans. Scott, who do you think is going to win this Tag Team Turmoil?
Well, I would guess but I need someone else to say.
So
Yeah, there we go. There it is.
so that's your pick?
Their
The
call and
Usos?
response works even here in the AfterBuzz TV studios. So yeah, I say the Usos.
Okay. So what do you think?
Given Total Divas, it could be the Usos, or for me, it's a toss-up between them and Primetime Players.
Gotcha. So who do you think? Are you even qualified to win this belt because you're the boss?
Am I qualified? I mean, I don't.
You make the rules.
He might just strip the belt from
Yeah.
anybody and just take it for himself.
You
I'm
can
gonna
just
go with
strip him
Because
for-
it's good for business.
I'll be a little bit. I'll say Primetime,
Okay,
just to go different than Scott.
gotcha. I am gonna say the same thing as you because I want to win that belt. So I'm gonna say Primetime Players.
Although
To win the
I could
match.
see I see a strong case for the Usos.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We just haven't
SmackDown
seen
hasn't
that much
happened yet.
lately.
Usos might get
Yeah.
all that momentum right there, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I would say I don't know what's gonna happen on SmackDown, but yeah, probably another tag team match with the rest of them that haven't been on main event. Okay, so that was that first match. Now, what do you think? Is the Shield or your pick gonna win the tag team match?
The Shield retains.
Shield retains.
Because I believe.
You believe in the Shield?
I do.
They're gonna retain.
Okay.
I don't see them losing it for a while.
I don't see it either. So we're all gonna pick the Shield. I mean, they're Triple H's henchmen. I think it's great that the corporation or whatever they're calling themselves now have all the gold. I think if they could bring in who's ever world champion, Del Rio, or if RVD wins, RVD's not gonna probably, go heel. But
If they don't, they could offer him like, hey, we won't drug test you. Join us.
he'll be like, okay, cool, dude.
All right, yeah. Right
I'm
on.
in. Okay, so we all picked the Shield. How about the Divas match? You have AJ, Natalya, Brie, and Naomi. Fatal 4-way. How do we think this is going to end?
The adorable AJ will not lose her title. There's no way.
No.
She retains.
I'm gonna go with Natalya.
Natalya.
Whoa.
Ooh.
I'm just gonna go with it.
Canada's own.
I'm going to go with AJ. I mean, she's been killing it on commentary and promos that she's been cutting lately. I don't see her losing it because why would they want to take it off her now?
If she
has
does
so
lose
much-
it, she won't lose it. So Natalia, someone else would
someone
beat
will
anyone
pin
else
one
but
else.
AJ.
Gotcha. So then she can come back and say, I was never pinned.
Right.
So you never beat me for the belt.
Right.
That is good.
That's very likely, but I don't want to see that happen.
I mean, is there like a DQ of some sorts in the sense that because remember she said like, hey, I'd much rather face any one of you than the Total Divas. So at any point, if someone is getting pinned, okay, out comes Layla or Alicia Fox. Hey, get off.
I mean, in a Fatal 4-Way, there is...
Or Big E Langston comes back because
There you go, the love of her life.
He could come back, but I don't think there's any... I feel like I'm trying to think of a Fatal 4-Way. There can be a disqualification, I guess, but...
Yeah, I suppose so.
Yeah, I mean, if they go outside
It's
the ring...
supposed to be fatal.
Yeah, I mean, it's whoever pins whoever first, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't see AJ losing that match. I just think she's
I
going to
picked a
retain.
dumb pick.
No, I think... I mean,
I would like to see. I would like to see Natalia win, so I'm still sticking with her.
I mean, I'm hoping after this they do AJ and Natalia, because I think that would be a really good feud to see.
Yeah, that'd be really solid.
They're really good matches. Okay, then
And
next...
they're just pretty ladies.
Yeah, exactly. Both very beautiful. I like AJ better. The next match is the CM Punk handicap match versus Paul Heyman and Curtis Axel. Who do we think is going to win this match?
I'm going to go with Paul Heyman gets the win via Oklahoma Roll in tribute to JR.
Ooh, okay.
But that's what I'd like to see. I'd like to see Heyman get that win and continue the feud.
Okay.
That's
Phil,
what
do you think?
That's what I'm going with.
Yeah, I mean, you're betting on basically do you continue the feud or do you end it kind of right there? And I don't know what they're gonna pull to continue it. But it's tough because I really want to see Punk get his hands on Heyman. I'll go with Punk.
Okay.
I'll go because I want to see it. I want to see it. So if I'm trying to will it into happening.
I think Punk is going to win, but he will not get his hands on Heyman. I think the next Paul Heyman guy is going to appear this Sunday and protect Paul Heyman and get him away from CM Punk.
You think there's another Paul Heyman guy?
Yeah, I saw some things. Well, he said next Paul
You saw
Heyman
some
guy or
things?
girl.
Oh.
Yeah, which I don't know if it'd be a girl. But I think Curtis Axel is doing well, but they need maybe another bigger name to come in and help, and have that match maybe next month with Punk at Battleground.
Kept hoping for Rob Van Dam, but he seems busy with all this other weird stuff going on.
With Ricardo.
Yeah.
So, but I'm gonna say Punk. Punk wins this match.
Okay.
But he's not gonna get his hands on Heyman.
Are you calling the next Paul Heyman guy?
I say next Paul Heyman guy.
Yeah, but who is it? Who you
I don't know.
calling?
I don't know who it is. I didn't.
All right.
I didn't think that far into it.
Okay.
I just think Paul.
Sometimes the creative team is that way.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. I'm on their thinking today. So the next match is the World Heavyweight Title match, which is Alberto Del Rio versus Rob Van Dam with Ricardo Rodriguez. What do we think is the outcome of this match?
I'm gonna go with Del Rio.
Del Rio.
Del Rio.
Okay. I'm gonna have to say Del Rio too, which I don't want to.
Steven, you write my picks in the booth, by the way, because I'm never gonna
I'm writing
remember
them down.
these.
I got them down. Don't worry. I got
Never
you over
gonna
here.
remember
I got you
mine.
over here.
We have them recorded, Phil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you didn't know who's gonna check that?
I'll watch it tonight.
I need a piece of paper with everything.
I got it written down. Don't worry. But I think I'm not liking Del Rio as world champion. I'm just not on board with him. I haven't been on board with him for a while. But I also don't see RVD actually beating him for the belt either, because who knows how long RVD is going to be around for?
4 days.
Is it?
I don't know. I'm
Maybe.
just guessing.
I mean, he may be gone next week. You don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, he signed a deal with them, but you don't know how long it's for.
You
how
still
many
have
days.
Damian Sandow who could come into play. I mean, they
Ooh,
haven't.
Yeah, maybe
done
cash in.
Yeah.
I don't see a cash in this pay-per-view.
Yeah. It's,
Not yet.
Until I think a face champion has it, I don't think it's coming into play.
Yeah, I think
It
you're
could
right
be
on
the
that.
war of the ponytails, though, between Damian Sandow and Rob Van Dam.
It could be.
That's the battleground.
Maybe Ryback
battleground
helps
for
out, too.
ponytails.
But it's okay. So we all say Del Rio for that. And then the last match we have right now is the WWE Championship match, which is Randy Orton versus Daniel Bryan.
Randy Orton.
Orton?
Orton.
Me too.
I mean, that's just simple.
Do we think Daniel Bryan can win? Yes, we do think he can win.
I think
Will
it'll
he
be
win?
a
No.
dusty finish.
Yeah.
If it goes that far. And now I'm not talking like Goldust and Cody Rhodes show up and there's that whole thing. Although that would be
would've been
perfect
cool.
for a dusty finish. That Dusty Rhodes does show up And it goes to that extent.
If they do come up and it's a dusty finish, we're definitely be talking about that next week. But yeah, I also say Orton to the win. Can't take it off him this early.
As much as I want it to happen,
yeah,
it's like, well, no, I want to pay another $75 to then see the next one.
Yeah, I want them to be able to stretch this out. I mean, I hope they can stretch this out to WrestleMania.
Really?
If they stretch this out to WrestleMania, Orton Punk WrestleMania, I think that would be awesome. I don't know if they can stretch it out that long.
That's pretty.
You wouldn't want
intense.
Daniel Bryan to win Royal Rumble? That's what I mean.
Oh, all right. I mean,
I think Daniel Bryan, because they're just gonna not. They don't. Triple H doesn't want him champion, so he's gonna do whatever he can to make sure he does not win that belt.
well, you could go the way of Bryan gets it, and then Triple H is going as the extremes of getting it off of him. So bringing back names of old, bringing back legends, and bringing back guys that can remove it from him because Daniel starts beating everybody.
Yeah, they could go that way. I think if anything, maybe Daniel Bryan wins it at like Survivor Series if they don't stretch it out till WrestleMania.
Sure, yeah.
But so that is our show. Oh, one sign I did like tonight. It was a bring back Shane O'Mac sign.
That was a great sign, which probably promptly got taken away.
Yeah, probably did. Yeah, I was surprised we saw it. And also news today that JR is retiring from WWE. I will miss him so much. He was my favorite commentator of all time.
Of all time?
Of all time, JR. Good old JR.
It's fantastic. He tells the greatest stories.
Yeah. So this will wrap us up for this week on AfterBuzz. Where can we see you guys at, or where can we find you guys? Scott?
You can find me on Twitter at Curtain Jerks, and you can also find me on comedypodcastnetwork.com.
Gotcha. Phil?
Follow us here at AfterBuzz TV, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram.
Great. And you can find me at Tom the Com on Twitter. I will see you guys next week, and maybe Phil will be back. Maybe Scott will be back. It'll be a mystery.
With a belt? Who knows?
Exactly. So tune in to NXT tomorrow, SmackDown Friday, and we'll be at the pay-per-view, AfterBuzz show for the pay-per-view this Sunday night.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.